Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mulakan Sekarang Podcast. Today, I feel like getting some vitamin D and record something for myself. And I come across this topic, not really a topic lah, just a thought in mind. I haven't discussed with the wife yet, but I am telling to the whole world that this is what I'm thinking about. But of course, it is not a concrete plan. It is not something that I've decided. But the topic today is about migration. Wow, how do I begin in the first place? But okay, recently, if you all watched my previous video, I've visited Eco Botanic 2, a development project by Eco World, and I'm quite amazed by how affordable, of course, living in Malaysia is possible. Number one is financially. Number two is the standard of living lah. And one thing for sure is I don't want to discount the fact that it is possible to move over there when it comes to migration. But migration is definitely I wouldn't call it taboo, but it is a topic that people shy away from doing, not talking, doing. People can always say, I want to migrate here, I want to migrate there, but is there even a plan? It's a bit too sunny. Let me just move and bring you guys around Tampines Park Connector. So when the developer shared with us the process, the timeline of how the house is going to be built, the semi-D, it is for the Bumi Putras and the non-Bumi Putras. Non-Bumi Putras is the foreigners, like us Singaporeans. Just imagine, okay, let's just assume that we choose the corner unit, right? The corner unit is 2.9 mil ringgit for 2.9 ringgit for semi-D, 2.5 stories high. There is a garage at the bottom, which is the half, and then 2 stories above the semi-D, which is, to me, if you were to, of course, purchase it in Singapore or loan it, number one, those kind of houses definitely will cost at least minimum 5 mil Singapore dollars. Okay, this one 2.9, let's just round up to 3 lah. It is as good as less than 1 mil Singapore dollars, and they give 90% loan. Of course, there is a 2%, is it 2% levy for foreigners, but it's okay, it's a small fee. Simply put, if you were to sell your JB, sorry, not sell, if you were to make some money from whatever that you have in Singapore, doesn't necessarily to be selling your HDB, guys. You can rent it out, or you can save some money to pay the levy, and then fork out to get 90% of the loan to purchase a house in Malaysia, and it's a landed property. My hand sengal. So the thought of moving or migrating overseas, definitely there's a lot of factors, especially me having 2 kids. The idea of sending them to international school will require a bit of cost. So there's a trade-off lah. Do you want to have a slower lifestyle with a bigger home, but most of your expenses would be to your kids' education, or over here living normally, HDB, smaller and fast pace of living, and everything still it's the same, expensive. Everything, but the education might be subsidized. So those are the trade-offs that I am currently um, contemplating. But it is a discussion which I need to talk to the wife, not only financially but practically. The reason why I choose to think about JB as my top priority because it's near. The one thing that I don't like, not say don't like lah, that I hope it will be different is the weather lah. So JB weather is the same as Singapore, so you can expect a what's that called? Like a Australian weather, a weather that has 4 seasons, kan? So yeah, it is such a nice morning. Uh, playing down the swings over here while seeing people cycling, jogging, people bringing out their dogs for a walk. If this is what home is like in Singapore, I'm fine, I'm okay. But yeah, again, depends on what I actually want. But what do you guys think? If you have an opportunity to rent your home and then move to Malaysia, JB specifically, and either purchase or rent over there. If you rent, number one thing that you will not get to do is to, customize your home over there lah. But if you purchase, it's a different story. Then you can slowly build your retirement home. That will probably be your retirement home lah if you purchase. I would assume. But it would be nice to retire in places like Australia or New Zealand lah. That would be ideal. But again, looking at the finances, if I can retire the wife, she don't need to work. She can become a full-time house manager. I don't want to say housewife, house manager, because she will manage every aspect of things at home, and for myself and for the family. Because house manager or housewife lah, I don't want to degrade the term housewife, but I'll give a new terminology: house manager. Sounds so corporate. And yeah, she can focus on building up, the kids, bringing up the kids to be a good Muslim, a good, human being, without the stress of work. Of course, we can always consider a maid or helper, but at the end of the day, it's what type of life that we want to build around our family. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know if migration is something that you all think of. I don't want to get too technical, I don't want to get too nitty-gritty, but if you guys are Singaporean and have lived in JB, maybe share your experience. Whether JB is a good temporary stay or permanent stay, because I have this thing in mind that I wanna probably live there for a good 10 or 15 years and then come back without selling my asset, my HDB in Singapore. So that must come in line with my kids' education. Like talking about 10 to 15 years, that is about during their poly days. Just before poly, they will come back here and then they will attend polytechnic as per normal. But their primary and secondary school days will be in international school. Again, they can also do their poly days over at, they call it Edu City lah, in JB. That's where the Cambridge, the Oxford all combined and they settled to a campus over there. It's a really nice place. It's near Eco Botanic area, Eco World area. So yeah, it's just a thought, guys, that I want to just put it as a content. Nothing is decided yet, but yeah, it's worth a content which I hope can inspire people to even think about it. Probably we can be neighbors in the future. I'm looking at 20 to 26 and if this plan works out financially, practically, emotionally, then yeah, we're good to go. Sometimes you don't need to think too much. Just go aja. Okay, so I think that's about it about today's this episode, because I want to batch record a few to catch up into the number of episode that I need to adhere by the end of the year. Remember to like and subscribe, and drop a comment below if you feel migration out from Singapore is practical. And yeah, wow, there's some sounds over here. Okay lah, tu je. Take care. Assalamualaikum. Take care. Bye bye.